For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you surely feel naughty when you swallow our coffee. If you want some real heat, give your mouth a fine treat. You will want some more, rest assured. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough of.
It's time for The Scribble, your weekly fix of celebrity chats, bizarre stories in the news, and basic random chatter with best-selling author and syndicated radio host Jeremy Bradley. Make sure your seat is in the upright and locked position and your barf bag is securely in place. Here's Jeremy Bradley.
Thank you very much, Larson. Jeremy Bradley here. This is The Scribble. All right, so a question for you. Is one bad experience at a restaurant enough for you to say, never again? We are done. We are not coming back. I don't care what we are offered. I don't care how good the food is. Never again. I'll tell you about why I asked that on The Scribble, starting right after this.
Isn't it crazy that you wait for payday, but before you know it, you're strapped for cash again? It's time to stop blowing your money and become a smart spender with the book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com. Learn simple ways to cut costs at home every day and during special times of the year. Don't go broke at Christmas. Don't remortgage the house for a fancy vacation. The book is filled with tips to save you money throughout the year. Check out the best-selling book, The Official Guide to Being an American Cheapskate at cheapskatebook.com or on Amazon and iTunes.
Ever had something to get off your chest but never had the balls to say it? That's a load of crap. Speak Free with JB.com is exactly what you've been waiting for. Your chance to tell it like it is and not care what anybody else thinks. Have your say on issues of the day. Join newspaper and radio columnist Jeremy Bradley as he tells it like it is. Hundreds of thousands of people have stopped by, including some well-known celebrities who have had a chat with JB and speak candidly about what's really going on in the world. You can join them too. Have a rant or a rave. Be brave and head on over to www.speakfreewithjb.com now.
JB here on The Scribble. All right, so the other day we were having a discussion here. Another one of our hard-hitting discussions that we have at the office. We really do talk about the stupidest things. But this is the thing. Our group has known each other. I've said this on the show many times. We've all known each other and worked together for over 20 years. So this is not something where... I don't know that there's anything that I could say in a meeting or just in passing that my team would go and say, oh my God, he just said that. I can't believe, did you hear, did he really? And I would say the same thing for Bonnie, who's our executive producer in her 70s. I would say that about Tim, who's been with me for, Tim has been here for, about 20 some years. Because we're just that close. So after a while, and I say this about relationships too, after you're together for a while, you either kind of run out of things to talk about, or you talk about things almost to an extreme because you can, right? You're just that comfortable. So you might have the same discussion that you had 6 months ago, but maybe you've jazzed up your opinion a little bit, maybe a little bit more eyebrow raising when you tell the story. So that's our group here. Now, Bon, I wasn't going to say who it was, and I just said Bon. Okay, there we go. I just outed her. We were having should we try to make it anonymous? One of my teammates came in and was having a discussion about a very bad experience at a restaurant. All right, is she there? Oh, Bonnie's not even there. Wait a second here. Hold on, folks. See, we do this like a live radio show. We could easily just stop and take, again. Where did she go, you guys? I'm looking over to where Bonnie usually sits when we're doing the show, and she's not even there. And the show is, we're literally, 2.5 minutes into the show. All right, I'll keep telling her story. Jeez. She was supposed to join me to talk about it and tell it. Maybe that's why she's hiding now. She's like, I don't really want to. All right, so here's the thing. Her and her husband, Mike, they've been married, by the way, for over 50 years. This is not a young couple. So they went to a restaurant, and you come into the front door, and they're standing. There's always that sign, right? Please wait to be seated, or whatever it is. Or it just goes without saying because there's somebody there greeting you, and, table for two, right? You've been to a restaurant. So there was nobody there at the front when they come in. So they're standing there, waiting. I'm like, well, okay, well then we'll just seat ourselves, like whatever. So they go and they sit down at a table. It's not too busy, not very many tables in there, or tables with patrons. And so they're sitting there kind of just waiting. And a couple staff members walk by, kind of giving them side eye, almost like, whose table are you? Or like, what, did you? So finally somebody comes over and says, oh, can I help you? Yeah, we're here to eat. Oh, well, you have to wait to be seated up at the front. So basically, here's the thing. You have nobody up at the front. And Bonnie and Mike are essentially being lectured, right? They're kind of, the staff is almost pissed off, is going, no, you don't just seat yourself in here. We tell you where to sit. So strike one was nobody there to greet us at the front. 2, we seat ourselves, and then we get in trouble for it. So then the person, server, I think it was a woman, I'm pretty sure. So the woman, the server comes over, either, got in trouble or, something, because sort of just had an attitude almost right off the bat. So they place the order. They're waiting and waiting and waiting. They didn't get waters either. So while they're sitting and waiting and talking, they had nothing to drink or nothing to... There was also no cutlery on the table either, even though... Now, this could be because they sat at a table that wasn't prepared and ready for guests. But at the same time, if you're a server, that's something you're going to look at and go, oh. Now, at the same time, it could also be that the food wasn't there, so they didn't need cutlery or anything at that time, right? It could come with the meal. But either way, it was something they noticed and just kind of thought, all right, well... So then the meal comes, and they give the wrong plate to the wrong person. Bonnie's meal goes to Mike, Mike's goes to Bonnie. Not a big deal, right? You just slide your table or your plate across the table. So then the inevitable, this happens to you, and you know it does. You're literally having the first bite. Literally, it's the first forkful in your mouth. You know what happens, right? They come breezing by, and how are the first bites tasting? How are the first bites? How's everything so far? It hasn't even hit my fucking taste buds yet. So again, I realize it's a courtesy, it's something nice, they're trying to check in, whatever. But you didn't give a shit when we walked in the door, you gave a shit when we sat ourselves, and now you're going to pretend like you're being attentive, really? And let me ask people that work in restaurants, are you just watching from a distance, and then you see, and first bite, go! You can't tell me it's just coincidental every fucking time we're about to have our first, it's the first mouth, literally the first... I haven't even swallowed the food yet. And you're already asking me. Already. It's like clockwork. I swear to you. Clockwork. So they're having their meal. Now, to the restaurant's credit, Bonnie did say that the food was good. So then, and again, they're in their 70s. They're not the sitting and chatting and boozing it up or whatever. But again, they're going to be a bit slower. They're going to be, we're going to take our time. We were going to eat. We're not going to devour it and then fly out of here. So then you have the usual, my shift is over. I'm done for the day. Like, would you mind settling up now? No rush though. No rush. No. Just take your time. But pay me and tip me now because I gotta I need my tip now before I get just, And the response, I believe Bonnie said it was Mike that said it. We'll pay when we're ready to leave. And then continued talking with Bonnie. As in, we don't care. You're not rushing us. We'll pay when we're ready. Again, like I said, a couple in their 70s. This isn't just like they're teenagers fucking loitering and, causing trouble and being loud. It's an old married couple. Literally an old married. They're 70 years. Okay. So that's when you then get the attitude of, oh, okay. And then what's interesting though is that she's walking back and forth still for another 10, 15 minutes. So this whole hurry up, I gotta go kind of a thing. I mean, you're not going to do that while there's still 15, 20 minutes left in your shift. I wouldn't think that you would, but if you've got 3 or 4 tables, how hard, you're just going to go to each one and be like, all right, I gotta go. Not our problem as the customer. Not my problem. And secondly, you can get your fucking tip tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Why do you need to close out the bill now? Whoever's handing over the table, because you don't want to share the tip, right? That's it. Or you want the tip money today, right now, immediately, because, it's the end of your shift. First of all, if you're that desperate for cash, go get another fucking job, manage your money better. Not my problem that you're going to be hanging on this potential, and makes me almost not want a tip in general. Really. And we can go into that whole debate about tipping another time, but it's like, you're walking back and forth and you're bringing me a plate of food. That is inherently the job. You didn't cook it. You didn't, like, you're walking around the building. That's the job. I tell you what I want. You put it into a computer. Somebody else cooks it up, dishes it up, puts it on a tray. You walked it to me. I'm going to reward you. Now you want to tip, you want applause. Right? Tipping is rewarding good service. So what does that mean? You fucking did a tap dance and didn't spill anything as you walked to the table? Like, I don't get it. Why am I rewarding you? You don't work for me. I'm not your payroll. I'm not doing your employee review next month. Like, fuck off. So they said back to Bonnie and Mike. My little rant about tipping. Bonnie and Mike are understandably pissed off about this entire experience. So they don't pay when the woman asks or offers. And then the new server, whatever, comes over. And at that point, and again, because they're pretty much like halfway through the meal, I mean, the new server isn't really doing anything except for possibly taking away a plate, maybe asking about dessert. Oh, did you need a refill of coffee? I mean, that's right. It's sort of the table scraps. It's sort of the end of the meal. So, I mean, the next server is just sort of checking and doing the cleanup, right? So, it comes time to do, the tip or the cash out or whatever you want to call it. So the debit machine or whatever comes. And now there's the two things that happen. Either they just drop off the little debit machine, and walk away, or they stand there and fucking hover right over your shoulder. And then when they do that, it's, so what's the plan for the rest of the day? What do we have going on after this? What? Fuck off! Why do I have to tell you what I'm doing today? Like, have you made conversation with us at all through the rest of this, aside from lecturing us, telling us not to sit in this fucking table? So it's funny because just the way Bonnie tells the story, which is why wishing she was here to do it. Like, I'm getting mad and I wasn't even in the situation because I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, that's just one frustrating thing after the other. So fast forward to them now leaving and, so they go at the end because the manager is now at the front, either as a greeter or whatever, and says, thank you. And knowing Bonnie and Mike, I was just like, this could go one of two ways. They ignore him or he gets a very, not a passive-aggressive, what would be the way to describe it? Bonnie would say it in a very grandmotherly way, but it's a shiv, like it's a stab right to the chest. She's gonna shiv you right the, I'm trying to think of, okay. What would be the way to describe it? I don't know. But anyway, my point is that Bonnie would kind of be like by the way, and then she would just say whether it's it would have been nice for somebody to see us. It'd be nice if we didn't get in trouble. We get lectured, we get rushed, we get, the side eye, we get the glare, we get whatever. And so, they have their kind of just, so that's what the discussion was would Mike and Bonnie ever go back there? And like I said, the food was good to the restaurant's credit, but Bonnie said, just the overall experience. Now, I understand if it was one thing, right? At a restaurant, we've all had that the food wasn't like super hot, the fries weren't fresh, the service was slow, they got something wrong, it was overly expensive, right? Like, we've all had some kind of a restaurant issue. But, so the question that I had for Bonnie was, if it was just the one thing, so let's say that it was the server just rubbing you the wrong way. Forget the having to seat yourself and nobody greeting you, whatever. If it was just her attitude, which that's a pretty big piece of the puzzle though. Would you still have gone or would you go again? And she said no. And I said, but the food is good though, right? She's like, but there's just some kind of trade-offs. So then I said, okay, well, what about ordering it through a delivery app, right? You liked the food, so there was nothing wrong with the food. And so this is where Bonnie as the consumer now is saying, no, you always hear about these corporate boycotts, right? You vote with your wallet is what they say, right? Meaning you don't spend money with that company. And that's where she said, no, I wouldn't. Even though I liked it, even though, the food was good. No, I wouldn't support them. I wouldn't do it. Just the overall, the vibe there, they weren't appreciative of your patronage. That's basically what Bonnie said. And so I thought, that's interesting that she wouldn't go there. I've had some shitty experiences in terms of, actually, it's funny. I had something similar. Back when I was in college, I was the restaurant reviewer at our college newspaper. Funniest thing, though, was that I'm not a foodie, but I always just had really weird experiences that I then turned into funny things. So I had gone with a friend. We went to, I can't remember, it was like a Western, like a cowboy, one of those ones where it's a Western theme, but It's like a roadhouse kind of a restaurant. So I was there with a friend. We went in, and there was nobody at the front, but they had one of those little microphones at the front counter. So I went and I just grabbed it. I said, "Service to the front, please." And my friend who I was with just like burst out laughing. She was so almost embarrassed, but I had no problem doing that. I'm like, I'm not going to stand here fucking wait. Like, we could have walked out. They wouldn't have even noticed. So I'm like, I'm going to grab it and go, "Yeah, excuse me. Like, welcome me. I'm in the door here. I'm about to spend money with you." But I'm the type of person where I'll have a laugh with it, right? It's not going to, affect me that badly. So the funny thing was that there was just a bunch of other things that happened. I can't remember what exactly transpired, but there were a couple things where it ended up being kind of a funny experience. And so again, with my restaurant reviews, it really wasn't about the food itself. It was more about the atmosphere and what happened. So we publish it, and somehow the restaurant manager either got a copy of it or, and you have to remember, we're going back more than almost 25 years. So it wasn't like, oh, we heard it on social media. Oh, it went viral. That wasn't a thing back then. And so there was a voicemail left at the newsroom, at the paper, at the college. And, Jeremy, somebody from such and such a restaurant wants you to call him. And so I started laughing, going, well, that was the one that we had in the newspaper. So at first I was kind of like, I'm in my early 20s. I thought, am I in shit? Are they going to like sue me? What? Because I also just wrote an opinion piece. So it wasn't, that's what a restaurant review is, right? So I called the guy back. And he says, "Yeah, I'd like to meet with you to discuss your review." And I was like, "You can come to the college. Like, I'm not meeting you out in public somewhere. You can come here. We've got cameras. We've got witnesses. We've got security. You can come to the college and meet with me." So eventually he does. We arrange a time and he comes. And he was saying that they had pinned it up in the back in the like employee area of the restaurant. And the staff was kind of laughing at it because they thought it was funny about the experience. And then a couple of, I guess, the kitchen guys or somebody were pissed off and basically like, telling, go meet that guy, go talk, as in like rough me up or something. So he mentioned that, and I kind of thought, okay, security, are you watching this camera for? Security cameras, security. In the end, though, they ended up giving me a gift card to come back. And he said, but don't, announce yourself. Don't say, "Oh, I've been invited back," whatever. Just be a regular customer. And if you feel so inclined to update our review in a future issue of the newspaper, write that. Of course, that's coming too. I don't remember if I did go back, or I used the gift card anyway. I don't remember the second experience, but I certainly wasn't going to, you just didn't do that in a newspaper. You wouldn't give them a do-over because, but absolutely everything in the column was true. So anyway, but back to the question at hand. Is one bad experience at a restaurant, is that enough to make you say, "I'm not coming back, never again"? Send me an email, live, L-I-V-E, @jbonair.com. Live at jbonair.com. Back on the Scribble right after this.
Who are the Kardashians feuding with now? What did that little thug Justin Bieber do this time? Who's getting hitched? And who's headed for Splitsville? Hear the latest celebrity news and gossip every day on Entertainment Wrap-Up. The good, the bad, the ugly, but mostly the ridiculously hilarious. It's all recapped in this daily segment at entertainmentwrapup.com. Have a laugh at the expense of the rich and famous when they take themselves way too seriously. It's 3 minutes of time-wasting fun at entertainmentwrapup.com. Check out Entertainment Wrap-Up at entertainmentwrapup.com. Brought to you by Speak Free Books.
JB here on the Scribble. So I mentioned Bonnie's story, and the interesting thing about that is we were having the discussion. I don't know if it was Tuesday, I think it might have been. Anyways, a few days ago. So come home later that day and go to the TV, open up YouTube just to kind of watch. I like to watch, the opening monologue from Kimmel or Colbert or The Daily Show or something. I'll just kind of watch one of those. And the home screen or the main whatever when you go to it had videos about restaurants. Now, this is the really weird thing. You've heard or thought for a long time that, my phone is listening to me, right? Because you might just be talking about something and all of a sudden you're getting ads for it on your phone, right? Or somebody texts you something and suddenly here's links or whatever for it. I have never, ever watched YouTube videos about restaurants. So, is that just a coincidence? The one day I'm talking about restaurants earlier, 4 or 5, whatever hours earlier. And now all of a sudden I come home and there's a restaurant. Now the videos are of people. I don't really spend much time watching the amateur, YouTuber type videos. But it was people who, they set up their webcam or whatever and they're sitting and talking. And it was about restaurants. So complaints about restaurants in terms of, the price, food quality going down, why restaurants are empty now. These restaurants are having the biggest failures, or not failed, but like are going through a downturn. They'll go on a rant about, it's $18 for this meal at McDonald's now or whatever. Those kinds of, that's what I mean by restaurant videos, people commenting about restaurants. So of course I start to watch a bunch of them, right? Because YouTube knows what it knows that I just spent 45 minutes talking about this at the office, and so now I'll spend that just as long watching videos. And but the big complaint that a lot of people had was the price of things, and so people are showing pictures of their receipts, or they're showing the ad for the Wendy's burger and then the picture of what they got instead. And that's no secret to you. You've heard about that. Why does the Whopper look so giant on the commercial? And then I get this little thing that looks like it's been sat on, by a 400-pound guy. So there's videos about that. And I saw one where a guy said it was a family of 6 of them, him, his wife, and 4 kids. They went to, was it Cheesecake Factory? Whatever it was, they'd gone. And he said it ended up being over $20 per person. So you're looking at, a good 120, well, taxes and whatever. So let's round it up to 140, maybe even 150 for the family of 6 to go to a restaurant. So is the price enough to make you say, no, thanks? Now, I've talked about this on the show before. I have no interest in cooking, nor does my husband, but yet he's a fitness model and bodybuilder. So we do have a level of nutrition and food in our lifestyle. So, I mean, when we go to the restaurant, I love my chicken burger, grilled chicken. I don't like breaded chicken. He has, his steaks and meat and whatever it is. So we don't enjoy cooking. So I've talked about this, that I'll go to a restaurant any day. I mean, that's, if they give me the option of, so do you want to cook tonight or do you want to go out? You don't have to finish the question. I'm already saying we're going out. So, we'll go, there's this one good Mexican restaurant that I like. I get a chicken burrito. Even that, though, it's $17 for the burrito. And again, let me just give you this full disclosure here. We have a lot of money. So I'm not complaining about how, it's too expensive to eat out. It's by choice because I feel like I'm being taken advantage of with the prices. So even though I really like it. Now, the thing is that it's $17 just for the burrito. Of course, you get the combo, which could be chips and salsa and then a drink, and you're going to add probably anywhere between $4 and $6 for that. So you tack that onto your $17 burrito. We're going to round that up to $23, $24. Add some tax onto that. That'll bump you up to $25, $26. Now, this is a place where the debit machine or the PIN pad or whatever has the tip option, even though the person just really slid along the counter with you and put more handfuls of this or whatever into it. And I'm supposed to tip for that. Again, not getting into the tipping thing. But if I did, so what did I say it was? $25, $26 already, or close enough? So, let's say that we add in a $1.50 tip. So now we're at $28 for a burrito, which is maybe the size of my hand, and I don't have huge hands. A little bit of chips, which is, you could go to, what is it called? Tostitos. I can go to the grocery store and get a giant bag of that for $2 or $3. And then the little cup of salsa or whatever it is. So if that's the two of us going, you're looking at well over $50. And by the way, I don't get that whole big combo thing. Let me admit this. I will sometimes take my cup from the previous visit and I will go and fill that up with ginger ale or Sprite or whatever they have in the machine. So is that stealing? I don't. Who's the real thief here, though, folks? Who's the real $60 to go for lunch with my husband, or me bringing my cup that I spent probably $4 on last time and reusing that? Yeah, I think that I'm probably going to get more sympathy and not the big corporation that's charging $60 for lunch. So, think about something like that. Have you ever done that, by the way? Let me ask you. Have you ever brought in a cup or you ask for a glass of water and then you go up to the machine and fill it with whatever when they're not looking? Have you done that? Am I condoning theft? Is that what I'm doing here? Send me an email. live at jbonair.com, live at jbonair.com. Well, again, like I said, speaking of theft, I mean, you look at the prices and, but one of the things that, so I've drawn the line. I used to, back in the day, enjoy Subway. Going into the restaurant, you just, the smell of the bread, right? There was just something about that. And I draw the line, though, at $18 for a sandwich. So you're looking at a piece of bread, a handful of lettuce, shredded lettuce, some pickles. Chicken is my favorite, so I will get the rotisserie chicken or whatever it's called there. And same thing, you add a drink or two. I don't really eat chips, so that's not a big draw for me, but obviously, a glass of water or something. And you're looking at like $20 for it. So I just won't do it. The only time I will do it, and this is something that I saw people talk about on videos, is when there's an offer. So buy one, get one free. Well, that's really the only time that I've ever gone to Subway, really. Honestly, in the last few years, I have not, to just pay regular price. No, there's got to be some kind of a promotion. Maybe it'll be 50% off the footlong, but generally if it's buy one, get one free, I won't do buy one, get one for $2, buy one, get one 50% off. No, I can justify getting two of them for $18. Even then, I still kind of think, but I also don't like in apps where, like, why do I need to download the app to get the discount or the offer? Just give me you should be rewarding my loyalty for coming into the store in the first place, and not because I decided to download an app and give you my data. And I'll be honest with you, I have a whole bunch of food apps on my phone. Not one of them has my real name. Not one of them. I'm Dwayne, Rob, Betty. I have every other name but mine on those apps. So if they think they're getting a data grab with my birth date and email address, all fucking fake on those apps, folks. All fake. They do not, even the birth date, whatever. So because that's something that catches me off guard, all of a sudden I'll get a notification that I get a free entree on my birthday, and my birthday's in August, and it's like, oh, why am I getting this in March? Oh, right, I probably put a fake birthday. Oh, okay, yeah. But certainly, you look at things like even the cost of pizza. Oh, sorry, the sub, Tim was just saying in my ear. What is it called? Firehouse subs? Or smokehouse? Whatever it is. The footlong was $24 on an app. Now, I realize that some places mark up the price in an app for the food delivery. But still, that's even worse, because you're going to add on delivery surcharges, fees, tip, tax, whatever. That one sub is going to cost you $30 fucking dollars. No goddamn way. Like I said, I can afford that. That's not a problem for me. But you are gouging, and I will not. I will not pay that. And same thing when you see these buy one, get one free offers. It comes up with pizza places. I see it even from KFC, that their chicken, buy one chicken sandwich meal, get one free. But the first one is $20. So even then I'm looking at it going, now you're just trying to trick me into thinking this is a good deal. It's not. Same thing with pizza. Buy one pizza, get one free for $23, medium pepperoni pizza. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, that's the price of two. Yeah, that's the price of two. That's not. So you can try to trick me all you want, thinking it's a good deal. No. And that's the same thing like when I order with the apps, is unless like Uber Eats or whatever is giving me the free month pass or whatever I don't remember what it's called. What is it called? One pass? One Uber One? I will never pay that. I'm not going to pay $10 for the privilege of being your customer. No, thanks. So I wait until they give me the free month, 3 months, 6 months, and that's when I'll order. But I'm not paying you a monthly fee you're already getting me with fees and whatever. So no, I'm not doing that. So I've never paid for a membership like that to one of the apps. But even then, I'll wait till those are promotion. Offer me 40% off my next order, but if I go to the promotions tab and there's nothing, I hope that Uber is logging that going, wait a second. Every time he goes, the first thing that he goes to is the promotions tab. There's nothing in there, he closes the app right away. I hope that they're smart enough to look at that and go, we should put something in there. Because every time that he goes to it and there's nothing, he closes, he doesn't order. I would have to look. I don't have, my phone isn't in front of me when we do the show, but I would almost guarantee you that every order that I've had in the last 2 or 3 months, anyway, it has not just been a regular, there's been some kind of promotion, whether it was buy one, get one free, whether it was whatever, and that's just, I just won't. I'm not going to pay full price on marked up food as well, so it's more than full price, it's overpriced, and then, as I said, fee, taxes, delivery, blah, 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 blah. Not doing it. And there's been plenty of times, and you've probably done this too, where you've either got the craving for it, or you think, oh, this is a great offer. I will see at the very last page what the total cost is. I'll empty that cart. I'll close that app right away. I've absolutely been either craving, wanting something, but then as soon as I see what that final price ends up ballooning up to be, I'm out of there. Out of there. So, back to you. Does the total cost of the order make you second guess it? It's maybe what you're wanting. It's what you're craving. You've been thinking about it all day. You're finally at home. You go and do the app, and you see that it's $7 in fees. Do you really want it that badly? Do you get it? Do you still get it? Send me an email, live, L-I-V-E, @jbonair.com.
We hear you chirping. Get scribbling. Tweet up the Scribble at The Scribble Show. Join the discussion with Jeremy Bradley. It's all going down right now on Twitter @The Scribble Show and @thescribbleshow.com.
JB here on The Scribble. We were almost on time, running a little bit long. We're about a minute over. Well, anyway, my thanks to all of you for listening. Feel free to give me a shout anytime. It's always awesome hearing from you. Live, L-I-V-E, @jbonair.com. This is The Scribble. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Want more Scribble? Check out thescribbleshow.com for past shows, celebrity interviews, cheapskate tips, and more. That's at thescribbleshow.com and on Twitter @thescribbleshow. The Scribble is a speak-free media presentation.
If you want some real